Hey, I'm Alex with Marcs Mobility. In this video, we're going to go over the newest product released by Travel Buggy. This is called the Grand Tourer. You might see it as the GT as well, but this is their newest product by Travel Buggy. And I do want to mention Travel Buggy is a very well-known, reputable brand on the market, and they do make some very great products. Now, this is going to be an airline approved, cruise ship approved, train approved. So any type of transportation, this is going to be approved. And the reason why I mentioned that, it does have a lithium battery. So sometimes people are a little bit worried on lithium batteries, but this is going to be fully approved for all types of transportation. Now, this is going to be a folding unit. It is going to have a 300-pound weight capacity, and it is going to go up to about 15 miles on a full charge. Reason why I mentioned the full charge is going to simply be because some individuals, based on their weight and the terrain they're going on, could vary that 15-mile range. Just like if you're driving a car on the interstate or you're driving it in stop and go traffic, it's going to be similar on a Powerchair. Now, I do want to mention as well that some of the specs online vary a little bit from what we got here. So we actually weighed this unit ourselves. If you do have the unit fully complete like this, joystick, battery, seat cushion on it, it's about 59 pounds. If you pull the battery out, you're going to lower the weight down to about 54 pounds. So that's going to be a more realistic weight, is about 54 pounds. I think they mentioned like 49 on their website. Yes, you can get it down to about 51 if you take your joystick, your cushion, and your battery out. But most people are only going to want to slide the battery out. So just note you're going to be about 54 pounds. But this unit does fold up very easily. I'll just go right into that before I go into the other types of functions on this chair. First thing you want to do to fold this chair up, you are going to have anti-tip wheels here in the back. You do want to pull this little tab and lift those up. Now, you can do it in freewheel, but I'm going to show you why it's a little bit better to go ahead, turn your power off, and then put it into the freewheel mode as compared to with your wheels locked. Now from here, you have a little thing in the back that says unlock. You are going to have a metal lever underneath the plastic. So make sure you reach far enough down and grab that metal lever. Then you're going to want to make sure your arms are folded up. And then you can take the chair and you can actually stand it up. Now, if you suppress the chair a little bit more, there is going to be a lock right here. So that lock is going to prevent the unit from coming apart. Reason why I wanted to put the wheels in freewheel, because if you didn't, you do have roller wheels, but you tip it back at this type of angle to roll it around. So if the wheels are in freewheel, there are those wheels in the back that keep it stable, but you are not going to have to tip it back to be able to actually maneuver this unit around. And then later on in this video, we're going to show you there's other wheels underneath here as well that make this very easy to load and unload in your vehicle with like a pivot type system with a bumper blanket. So stay tuned to the end of the video. We're going to show that as well. Now, to unlock it, all you're going to simply do is lift this lever here in the front. You'll see how gravity now, when you tilt it forward, is going to simply unlock the unit. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to go back here, make sure you take your anti-tip wheels and push those back down. Reason being is if you're going up something very steep, you do want to make sure that your anti-tip wheels are down there just so you don't have any worry about having to tip over backwards. And then always remember to put your motors back into the drive position, because the chair will not operate if it's in that freewheel driving position. Now, there are a couple accessories you're able to get with this unit as well. I didn't put it on the video demonstration earlier because I didn't want you to think it's included with it, but you can get a cup holder here that sits at the end of the arm. So it does attach and does come off very easily with this little lever here that you can pull and slide the cup holder out. Now, the unit does have a 288 watt-hour battery, so anything under 300 watt-hours is going to be approved for airline travel. The battery is right here in the front, and there's a very easy lever that you can lift up and then go ahead and slide the battery out. There is going to be a charging port on the battery here itself, so you can bring this battery inside and charge the unit, or you can charge it right here underneath the joystick as well. But that is a nice feature to have. So once again, airline approved, very easy to just drop in the slot, make sure it clicks in place, and now you are going to have power again. Now, once again, I mentioned 300-pound weight capacity, and with that, you are going to have about an 8-inch caster wheel, solid wheel in the front, and about a 10-inch caster wheel in the back. You'll see at the end of this video when we're going to do a driving demonstration as well, it does have a 25-inch turning radius, so relatively good compact turning radius for the size of the unit. The display on here is very nice as well. And underneath the joystick is your charging port, and then you have that USB-C the new iPhone type charging port right here as well. So that's all going to be built into the joystick. There's not going to be any headlights, but on the back of the chair, while it is on, you are going to have a rear tail light. So that is a nice safety feature. So if you are out in the evenings or just having any type of light behind you for visibility, just so people know that you are there. Very nice display on the screen. It is going to show your miles per hour. This unit is going to go about 3.7 miles per hour top end speed. And you are going to have the ability to go between what it says soft, normal, and sport. It's not going to really necessarily increase your overall speed, but just kind of the accelerations is what's going to change. And the way you do that is just hold the up or down arrow. I'm doing it on the up arrow. By holding that down, that is then going to change between the three different settings on the unit. But you are going to have your battery charge, and then you are going to be able to individually control the speeds with the left down arrow on your three different modes, just so you have the level of responsiveness of what you are necessarily looking for. Now, a couple really cool things that they came out with this unit is the arms are going to be adjustable. You are going to have a lever here in the back. If you loosen that up, then you are going to be able to adjust the arm to different heights. So I thought that's a really cool feature to have. Both arms do flip up all the way out of the way. Now, if you have your cup holder on here, there'll be a little obstruction, but once again, you pull a tab and it comes right off. So a lot of chairs, when the arms flip up, they have a support bracket underneath here. And so if you are doing any slide transferring, that could potentially get in the way, but you're not going to have that issue with this particular unit. Another thing that Travel Buggy did that went a little bit above and beyond, they did make the height of the backrest adjustable as well. And there's two Allen screws on either side that you need to loosen. But it does come with a toolkit for you to adjust certain things on the chair. So you are going to have the tools with the unit. You don't have to purchase the tools separately. So I thought that was a really nice feature as well. And then same with your footplate, same with the tools that you would need. Right here in the front, there are going to be 3 different adjustment points for the footplate. So this is going to be good for people of different height. I'm in the low position now, so to just give you a reference of what that's going to put you at, that's going to be at about 18 inches, we'll say 17.5 inches top of the seat down to the footplate. So if we were in the higher position, you'd be something more, probably about 15 inches. So a couple inches of adjustability for your footplate height. It is going to be flip up as well, but there is not going to be any forward depth adjustment on the chair. So just want to let you know that it's only going to be height adjustment. Now the widest point of this footplate is going to be about 13.5 inches at the widest point, and depth is going to be about 9 inches. Now I am 6 foot tall, about 210 pounds, and I wear a size 12 shoe. So I'll show you here at the end of the video me driving this chair, so you can kind of get a perspective of what I look like while I'm sitting in this unit. Distance in between the armrests is going to be 18.5 inches, so there's not going to be any adjustability on the width in between the armrests. So just notate, it does have up to a 300-pound weight capacity, but that is 18.5 inches in between the armrests. The overall size of the cushion is going to be an 18 by 18 inch cushion, and then the standard height without any adjustments on it is going to be about 18.5 inches to the backrest overall height as well. So last couple of things I want to mention as well is it does come standard with a seat belt that is going to be adjustable. And then an important factor that people like to know, this is not going to be an adjustable factor. It's going to be your seat to ground height. You're about 21 inches top of the seat to the ground, but this is a removable cushion. It does sit on a sling. Reason why I say that is if you were to get maybe like a 1 inch really thin low profile cushion, you could sit a little bit lower, or if you put a Rojo that's 4 inches, you might sit a little bit higher. But with the standard cushion that comes on it, yes, you're going to be 21 inches top of the seat to the ground. And I do want to mention that if you do go down in the description below, we will have a link to this to our website, which will show the current pricing for this chair on the market. And then one thing I did actually forget as well is going to be, this is the white color version, but they do make this in an all black. So those are going to be your 2 color options, an all black or this white color. And so now if you would, go ahead and follow me outside. We're going to show you the easiest way to load this and do a little driving demonstration on the chair. So now we're going to show you what makes this unit very unique, as well as the easy unload and loading of this into your vehicle. So if you have an SUV or a minivan that is going to have a flat surface in the back, this is going to be very easy to load. What you're going to do is you are going to fold the unit. So go ahead and flip these anti-tip wheels up, and then I would go ahead and still put it into the freewheel position. Then once again, make sure your armrests are up. and you grab your latch and begin to fold it down. And then while it's starting to fold, you can pivot it up to a standing position and just make sure that your lock lever does lock and engage. And now I want to show you here as well. Now you are going to have a tab right here that you're able to pull these wheels up, and there are going to be 2 different height adjustments. So this is a higher vehicle, so I'm going to go up to the highest position, and then you can actually freewheel this unit right over to the back bumper of a vehicle. Now you still have to bend over some, but what you're going to do is you're going to have to actually lift a lot less weight, because now it's a pivot type system with those wheels here in the front. Now he has a little lip here on the back of his bumper to go in the vehicle, so you kind of have to give it a little bit of a push to get it over that. But now you can slide this right into your vehicle. Now what I would mention is, once it's inside your vehicle, go ahead and lock your drive wheels back so it's not going to roll around. But in that same concept, if you were to put it back into freewheel, start to begin to bring the unit back, you can start to pivot it down, because a lot of your weight is still here on those front wheels. Go ahead and lower it back to the ground and then bring it back out to this position. Do make sure that you always, from here, go ahead and put your roller wheels all the way back down, because it would hit the ground. And then from here, unlock your unit and bring it back out. And it's as simple as that. And now you're ready to drive. So now we're going to do the outside driving demonstration here on that Grand Tourer. I mentioned to you earlier a 25-inch turning radius, so you can see that this is a rear-wheel driven unit, but it is going to have a pretty compact turning radius. Another thing I noticed too, this is in kilometers per hour because this is a Canadian-based company. So once again, it is 3.7 miles an hour, but this on the screen is going to show 5.8, 5.9, but that does translate to about 3.7 miles per hour. And then it also showed too that a charging time, if you were completely empty on the battery charge, about 6 to 8 hours, because it is a lithium battery, so it does charge a little faster. I also mentioned that there are going to be a few different modes that you can toggle through when you're going to have your soft, normal, or the sport mode. So what that's going to do is that's going to turn down your turning speed and then your overall forward acceleration. So you can see here how it accelerates really slow, but still gets to that 3.7 miles per hour. So it's really going to be your accelerations what that's going to do is scale it down. So you're not going to lose your overall speed, but it is going to help somebody if they are inside their house. Subtle movements are not going to react as fast if you're going to be on that soft driving speed. Once again, I'm 6 foot, about 210 pounds, wear a size 12 shoe, just to kind of give you a reference of what I look like sitting in this chair with the footplate at the lower position. It is actually very comfortable. The arms right here might be a little bit high. For my height, I would probably drop them a little bit lower, but that is a great feature that you are able to easily adjust that without any tools needed. The overall armrest height. And some individuals too sometimes lean, so they might even have an advantage of one armrest higher than the other if that's the case, that they need more support on one side. So just something to consider as a factor as well. And it does actually have a very nice handle on the joystick knob as well, so it's not that little thin knob. It's a more round knob here, which does kind of help you kind of put your whole hand on it as compared to just trying to use your fingers. So now I'm going to go over here and drive it in the grass and just kind of see how it performs. All right, so I always like to check to see how it performs out in the grass. I like to go almost to a complete still stop and then turn. So that actually doesn't really have any resistance, where some of the other lighter weight folding chairs kind of do have a little bit of resistance on the motors. But you can see that even from a stop position, it is going to turn relatively well. Seems like it has plenty of power, and it is actually a very comfortable ride as well. So overall in the grass, I mean, you can see here, if you do go and you kind of get your wheels stuck, you might have to go to a little bit of a forward position just to have a little bit more power, because it is going to come with 250 watt brushless motors. But like anything, when they're lighter weight, they're trying to keep the weight down. So if you ever do feel like you're kind of stuck, go to a little bit more of a 45-degree angle, that forwards position, and it's going to help you have a little bit of power. But overall, I do think it handles the terrain pretty well. So if it is something like soccer fields, baseball fields, you want to go see your grandkids play sports, this would be a fantastic item to consider.
Hi, I'm Marc.
And my name is Alex. We're co-owners of Marcs Mobility.
I started this company in 1995.
We sell many products, not just what you see in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at the number below at 800-677-6293. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.